My name is Chris Chalk. I play Damon Robinson in the show. I'm very excited. I've auditioned for LCT 3169 a lot, and we've always gotten along. Like, we've been big fans of each other, but this is the right fit. It's pretty cool. I may not look that excited, but I'm really excited. The biggest challenge in playing Damon is that, he's in prison, and you got to get used to a very confined space and a bit of parts of yourself, I feel like, for a lot of inmates disappear and go away, and it gets hardened. And I'm like completely opposite. I'm like a 2-year-old child. Everything's awesome. I'm really excited about everything. And Damon is very much like skeptical of every single thing that happens every day, especially considering what he's going through. Damon's, got a bit of a smart mouth. So do I. Damon is a sports fan, so am I. And I encourage the playwright to make him more of a sports fan. So those are the ways that Damon and I are one. What makes this interesting, and any preparation to being, a cat in a prison is another story. Is when I was right before rehearsal, literally the day before, I went to see my girlfriend in Pittsburgh, and I was stuck on a plane, and I couldn't get off, and they left us on the runway for so long that I actually had a panic attack, and it made me think about what compression does. And so, yeah, living in New York in that small apartment, that helps. When you just look at those walls, and all you see every day are those walls, and it's just walls, and you're like, these are walls. And then it's also interesting because, we can't put all 4 walls, the 3 walls and the bars up, like, not eye contact is a huge thing. And so it's interesting using eye contact, how you use it to manipulate another person, and the opportunity of eye contact and what that means, which is cool. My research for this role was talking to my family who's been in prison. They're lovely people. And then ultimately, just think of yourself as a person who had a lot and doesn't have anything anymore. And your adult decisions were made by a child. Not everything, but a lot of stuff was really bad, right? But you were 15, you were 20, and now you're 50. And you're like, man, that was stupid. It's like, it's terrible. The stage actor I idolize the most, and the person whose career that I most want to have, is mine, to be completely honest. But I know I have to answer the question. So it's a combination. I've thought about this. It's like a combination of Phil Hoffman, Denzel Washington, Forrest Whitaker, Tom Hanks, because you got to get on that production side, man. And the way he did it, and he was like the innovator of it. He was like the one that was like, don't pay me. Don't pay me. You'll pay me at the end. I think it's brilliant. Phil Hoffman, because he takes really good care of his theater life and his film life and his family. And that makes me really happy. And I'm passionately in love with Denzel. I think he's the best. A random skill that I have listed on my resume that I've never put to the test. I don't have skills on my resume. But there's a funny story. I'm going to tell it. There's a guy in college. He had a mime on his resume, and there were some guys some like casting directors who came to visit, and they were like, mime? And he had like national mime champion, something just too much. And they said, show us some. And he went, okay. And he went up and he went. You know what? I'm lying. There's no mime. The panic in his face, because we didn't know until after he said he didn't have the skill set, that he didn't have the skill set. And so we were like, oh yeah, let's see some of that mime you always talk about. And so that is like when I first started to not put skills on my thing, because the impulse to lie is just so easy. So I just don't say anything. I just let them assume I can do everything.